Hello guys. All right, so we're going to be talking about the plugins that we need to install into Gatsby now. So so we're going to open up the config. Okay, just make sure that you double click on the file here. All right, good. So you have already some stuff already that has been already installed by Gatsby by default. So you have the helmet that is already installed by default, which is good. And you have the file system that is also installed by default. And you have a Sharp already installed by system by default. That's good. The transformer Sharp also good. I don't think if you'll need that maybe. And then you have the plugin manifest, which is also good, and just some stuff that needs to be changed. The Gatsby plugin offline for progressive web app is going to have to be added eventually. So you have a lot of good stuff already that has been added, but there is some other good stuff that we have to use up and install. So let's start off by going into gatsby.org. Okay, so let's just start off from the beginning of the site so you can see everything that is in there. And then we're gonna go over to some of the packages, some of the plugins that we're gonna install and configure them. Now, normally you don't know what you're going to need. I mean, you do know that there are some of them that are going to be almost, like religiously you're going to be using them. Okay, so that's fine. You can always, every time you start a new Gatsby project, you just go straight to those that you know you need to download and you know you're going to use, like helmet, Sass, things like that. However, most times you don't know all of the plugins that you're going to end up using, so you just upload them as you need to. In this case, because we're developing something that I already did for myself, I kind of know already what you're going to need, so we're going to just download them all and install them all at once. But that's not what is going to happen normally. You're just normally going to do it as you need to. But just to save time and to kind of cover it all. So you're going to hit the plugins button here. And the first one that we're going to use is going to be Gatsby Sass. So you're not going to see this one for some reason. They don't have a really good documentation or any at all. So so let's just but I know what it's called. I know it's called Gatsby Plugins Sass. So let's just go ahead and do that. So right here you should be already stopped. Okay, so you're gonna put npm install save, sorry, dash save, and then put Gatsby dash plugin dash Sass. Okay, just like this. I wonder if I could, oh, there we go. I can make this bigger. No, I can't. That's weird. Wonder if I can make this bigger. I would like to. Well, I'm sorry. Alright, so hit enter and and let that install, and you can see that it's installing right now. And while that's installing, you're going to basically just highlight the name of it and add it to your plugins like this. So you're gonna put the quotes and add that and a comma. Okay, in your plugins, in your Gatsby configuration inside your plugins array. So that means that you're declaring that you're going to be using it. Okay, so your Gatsby helmet is fine, as it should be running just the way that it is right there. And your Gatsby source system. So we're gonna use we're gonna do probably a different change to the, or maybe not. Maybe I don't think you'll need it. Yeah, so let's change the file system a little bit actually, because we don't want to resolve only to the images folder. Okay, we want to resolve our file system to the entire source to make that the root of our of our solution here, of our program. So we're going to change that to source, and we're going to delete the images here, and then we're going to make the directory, the main directory path, being your root and then your source folder. So we're going to make that change on that, and then now we can just go ahead and close that out of the way. And for Gatsby Sharp, if we were going to use the markdown to, and things like that for remarks and things like that, maybe, but I don't think we'll need it. Remark images. So let's yeah, let's just leave that alone. For your helmet, okay, so your helmet's fine. We did that. We did the sharp. Okay, so Gatsby Sharp. Okay, I'm trying to keep up here with what we have. We'll put the manifest at the end. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is let's just let's look up the material UI. So material UI. So you see that two of them show up, the plugin and the theme. You can't have both. If you have both, Gatsby is not gonna like it and it's gonna give you an error. This one gives you just basically material UI and that's it. But this one gives you material UI plus the theming files for material UI, and you're going to need that. So let's go ahead and use that one instead. And this is how you do it. So you can highlight all of this right here and go back to, I just clicked on that by accident. Okay, and click on that and enter. So while that's downloading, you're gonna come over here and you're gonna add the plugin, but not this one. Okay, we're gonna actually add this one here, this one with the font family. Reason why is because you want to make sure that eventually you add what is it, this one, sorry, because eventually you want to make sure that you add any kind of fonts that you want to use. Like for example, for me, I like Barlow a lot, so we're gonna use that. So what we're gonna do is inside this plugins array, right? Everything inside the plugins array until the end of the plugin array bracket. So everything inside the array bracket. I'm gonna copy that and come here above the sharp is fine, and add it in there. And what I have running is Barlow. And then I have 300, 400, 500, and I also have, let's copy that, and I also have a 600 weight that I'm using for the font. So this is great because this does is basically connects you to Google, and it finds that font in there, and it installs exactly that font and exactly these without having to actually install the actual files into your computer. So it's kind of like connecting to a CDN through Material UI. So it's a great thing to have. So I use that a lot. So what is the next thing we're gonna do? I'm wondering if we should just jump into the WordPress part yet or not. Yeah, sure. All right, let's do the WordPress one, which is the next biggest one. So we can go ahead and minimize this because it's already been done. And we're gonna leave the manifest for last, so I'm gonna put it in here. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna look up source WordPress, Gatsby source WordPress. Click on that, and right here npm install. And hit enter and you're gonna start downloading it. All right, now while that's working, we're gonna grab this whole thing here. So anything from inside the brackets and to the closing brackets right there, and then I'm gonna come here and under the sharp is fine. I'm gonna put that in there. Make sure all these commas, that you're not leaving these commas behind. Okay, they're necessary. Alright, so I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. So we don't need these comments here. Okay, I know a comment in your code is also great, but if you have any issues not remembering or not knowing what's all of this, you can always come over here and read it. So the comments are there, they're available. You don't have to have them. So we're gonna delete these comments here, get those out of the way, and then we'll get the commands out of the way as well if we don't need them. But for right now, let's do commands. Let's do the comments first only. So if you have the right theme of colors, it should be fairly easy to get rid of comments because it's always colored a little different than regular code. So that's why I like to do themes. Makes things easier. Alright, getting rid of a few more. Almost there. That. Okay. So what are we going to get rid of here? Sorry, just got a little twitch there. Okay, so the first thing you need is obviously the base URL. This is how you're going to tell it where is that WordPress that you need to connect to in order to get your content from. Now remember I told you I already created this website, this WordPress site with, oops, I need to connect back. So anyway, so I created this for you already, okay, and I'm gonna give you access to it eventually. I just wanted you to, for right now, let's just go over it, you know, and I have all these posts already done for you. So all you're gonna need from here is basically just your main URL right there, and you're gonna come here and you're gonna add that base URL right there. You're going to actually get rid of it, all this right here. You're not gonna need any of that. So this is it, your base URL only, no www, no nothing else, not even that. Now the protocol. Oh, excuse me guys. Alright, so your protocol. I normally don't like to put the HTTPS because if it happens to lose its security, the SSL security certificate that I have in there, then you will be specifically pointing to the HTTPS, the secure one, and it may not be there. But if you have it like this, it would always look for the unsecure, but if it is secure, it would automatically redirect to the secure one. So it's always safer to go to the unsecure and let the browser do the own direction. The REST API route prefix as a WP JSON is fine. That's how you want your data to come through, as a JSON API. You're hosting WP comp. Basically, that means it's asking if you are hosting this from WordPress.com, which I'm not, so it's false. That's fine. We're not gonna use USAF or whatever it's called, USACF or whatever. We're not gonna use that, and none of this. Authorization, we're not going to use that. That has to do with tokens and stuff like that in order to log into the site and things like that. If you want to access, like let's say for example you're accessing content from a website that is not yours, and you need to actually access it with credentials that were given to you and things like that, then this is what you will need. You will need to have that there. But for right now, I'm gonna give you access to all of this, and it's gonna be yours. Then eventually you're gonna change this, like I just suggested before. Don't depend on my website that I built for you for this tutorial. Build your own and then change it here. Okay, that way it's yours. You don't have to have authorization, and you can change it at any time. Plus, if 500 people that are watching this tutorial are going into this website and changing content, it's you guys are going to be overriding each other all the time. So it's better just create your own. This is just for examples, so create your own. So delete that. So we're not going to be using cookies or variables output per page, any of this stuff here, concurrent requests, none of this. That all goes away. And included routes also go away. So the only thing that you're going to need is going to be excluded routes. So in the excluded routes, there's going to be some exclusions that are going to be needed, and the reason why you're going to need those is because this needed to be moved down too. Sorry. The way that this is going to connect, the way that Gatsby connects and tries to pull everything from WordPress, from its API, it's going to want to pull more than just the post. It's going to pull everything that it could be harvested from it. And a lot of the times it's going to try to pull the users and the themes and settings and options and all that kind of stuff. So, but you don't want that. All you want to pull from here is going to be just the posts. So we're not going to need, obviously we don't want to exclude the posts, but we do want to exclude the pages. So we exclude the pages, and let's just copy this and make a bunch. And want to exclude the users. We want to exclude also users, me, exclude the themes. If you don't do this, you end up having a bunch of 404 connection errors when you try to compile. So settings, you want settings to be excluded. You want options to be excluded, and also you actually want options like that, so it's options and everything else after options, and that's what. So you can get rid of that. You still end up having another 404 that I can never get rid of, and something that has to do with options, but don't worry about it. You'll see it a lot and it won't affect anything. Keep media sizes is fine. You can just get rid of that because it's going to do what it's going to do normally, and it's fine. Whatever it's going to do, from whatever media sizes come from WordPress, is going to be fine. And the normalizer also can go away. That doesn't do anything. Alright, so that part is done. And then the last thing you're going to do now is install the Gatsby plugin offline. So offline. So what is this? The Gatsby plugin offline basically is for your progressive web apps. So anyone that wants to check out your site on a mobile phone is going to have access to the Gatsby, to your Gatsby build without having to load into your website first. So it's going to initially load it as an offline source, and then it's going to go into, oh, it's already there, and then it's going to go into into the actual server and find it there, and then pull it back. So it's kind of like having a preload on it, which by the way, we do need to have a pre-connect for SEO purposes, but we'll do that eventually. We're not going to do that right now. So for the manifest, there's a couple of things you need to change here. Is obviously you want to change the name of it. So this is what it's going to, what is going to be named up here on the instead of localhost 8000 or whatever, and your actual website. So mine is going to say Luis Silva. And you can make the short name Luis Silva, Luis LS. Let's just say LSCV. The start URL of the website is going to be the index page, which is fine. The background color, I kind of like it to be a little darker like that, and I'm using a little kind of like a purple tone to it. So I use this one, but you can change this anytime. You can make any color you want, and this is what it will turn the taskbar on the phone. It will turn it into that color. And then from here, I will be using standalone. Okay, the icon, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that for now. So I'm gonna move this comment bar to the front. So this is the icon that is gonna show up whenever you it's loaded onto the phone itself. Okay, in a mobile phone. So this is pretty much done now, and I can go ahead and save that file. And now that it's saved, I am going to go up. There you go. Gatsby develop. Run it and make sure that I don't have any issues. Now what you will see is a bunch of new stuff run. You're gonna see WordPress stuff running. Okay, and that's okay. So just and remember, there will be one that is a 404. It's gonna be red, and I hate seeing it, but there it is. Don't worry about it. It doesn't really do anything. Something with the options pages in WordPress, but it's not a big deal. It never really causes any problems. Finish running the queries. Finish running the build. It's uploading the cache and your public pages. Right now, you're not gonna see anything from WordPress, because we have to actually start building queries and start building the markup and all the stuff that you're gonna need. So right now you're not seeing anything. The only thing that you are seeing that is different from before is that the font was a little, it's different than what it used to be, and so is the background. It's not white anymore. It's like a creamish white. Okay, so if we inspect the site now, and we look inside here, you should be able to see. Okay, yeah, some of the stuff actually you're not seeing yet because we haven't declared the themes or material wise. So I thought it would show some kind of remnants of it, but it doesn't. So it's fine. We'll eventually get to that. All right, so that's all I got for now, and we are going to go on next into creating material UI files and components. I'll see you next.